The Jamie Dyer Show.
Absolutely delighted to be joined on the show today by Ramin Karimloo, who is here to talk about his show From Now On, which is coming to the Horsham Capitol later this month. Can you tell us how the show came about?
Oh, it's just something, me and my band, we've been together, maybe like 5 years now. And that's something that just sort of grown more and more as it came out of an album deal back in the day. And when I soon realized that I didn't want to necessarily pursue a full-time music career. I just wanted music to me was always about it being fun. So the band, we stayed together because we enjoyed playing gigs a lot. So we were like, well, let's just every now and then keep putting a tour together. And then we would still record, but more on our own, I don't know, rules, I guess. We didn't want to necessarily be signed, but still have a great relationship with Sony Records. And then we recorded recently a bunch of new theater songs, but done in our sort of folky bluegrass way. And with anytime we record, I want to see how they feel on the feet, what kind of life they have, as well as, because by this point, we've had such a great following and support system. We're like, well, let's go back on the road. And we decided 6 months ago when 2019 was completely clear for me. So I was like, well, I got time. Let's go and, have a good time. Lo and behold, now everything is so busy with other work, and I'm juggling this with filming schedule. But, it's a lot of fun, and we get to revisit, songs from Phantom and Les Mis, as well as songs rewritten, and these new theater songs.
You mentioned there about kind of the uniqueness of the genre. You call it a special name, don't you? Where did that come from?
That was an off-the-cuff comment. I remember we were in Texas because we were doing an American tour, and they're like, well, what kind of music is this? We got to call it something. And I said, well, I don't know. It's Broadway to bluegrass. And also, I'm not a bluegrass musician. I just love bluegrass, and we have a banjo in the band. Well, Sergio, he's real deal. But I was just influenced. And what I love about bluegrass is the storytelling, and obviously music theater I love because of the storytelling, and it's where a lot of my career has been based. So I said, I don't know, Broadway to bluegrass, call it Broadgrass, because there was bluegrass, there's rapid grass and new grass. I said, why can't it be Broadgrass? And that name stuck. So I was like, okay, well, we're Ramin and the Broadgrass band now.
It's a fantastic description, certainly when you listen to some of the material. How did the show kind of develop?
Well, it developed when I just finished, I think, Phantom and Love Never Dies, and we did an orchestral tour. And I kind of, I want to always pay homage to where you've come from, but I also don't want to just money for old rope, as they call it. And I was like, well, I've done the Phantom, but to sit there and make money off it again on the road, just singing it again, I never felt good about that. Where I still knew people wanted to hear those songs. I'm like, well, how can we do it that's more me and not me just cashing in on something that's not really mine? It's Angela Weber's. So one night during the orchestra tour, I said, can we just do, I think it might have been musical night. Let's just do it with just acoustic guitar. And it felt right. It felt perfect. It felt like we were offering the song for the first time again. And, some of the purists might not like it, but I always think sometimes when people don't like it, you're doing something right as well, because it's making people listen. And that felt really truthful to me as an artist. So I was like, ooh, let's start stripping some of these songs back. And let's hear these words again for the first time. Let's hear the melody for the first time. And then it sort of grew from there.
What would people kind of expect when they come to see you? Like, is the show like literally just wall-to-wall music?
Yeah, and there's a lot of fun with my band. We're just a bunch of friends on stage. So like the banter, none of it's scripted. We, every show has a different set list. We play to what our hearts feel want to play. And the audience, I think, get a kick out of that. And it becomes this uniform friendship for that hour and a half that we're on stage, and we'll play songs that they know. The show has a lot of songs people know, songs from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang to Phantom and Les Mis, Showboat, but done in ways that you've probably never heard them and may never hear again like that. And then I'll do a couple of songs that I might have written. It depends on the night, what we're feeling. We want to always play with where our hearts are 100% behind the material. Sometimes I just want to sing a song because I just love singing it, and I want to share that with people. And every band member has their moment. So, you can't expect, the word expectation to me is not a good word because it creates distance. People would just have a good time, and it's a good feeling. It's a positive feeling, and it's just a lot of fun. And there's no agenda.
Well, that is what it's all about, fun, when it comes to a stage at the end of the day. And obviously you mentioned you're filming there. Are you able to give us any indication on what that is, and how do you find time for everything?
Well, finding time right now, that's the conundrum. When I'm not on stage, it's literally straight off the stage into a car and back to set. Because it was gotten out today, I've been filming as one of the new surgeons in Holby City. So my character will air, I think around April time, but we're filming now. So that's been quite the juggle. And BBC and Holby have been so good to write around my tour. So I'm very grateful for that, for them to keep this tour going.
In regards to the tour, will you be recording an album, or have you already done so?
Well, we've already done that in November, and that's where I said there's a lot more new theater material, and that's in Sony's hands now, so I don't know what the release plan for that is. And I always leave that to them, because once we've recorded it and we're happy with it, the rest is out of my hands. But that should be getting at least streaming soon. I think they have a plan of maybe a single a month or every 6 weeks. And then, we'll see how it goes. Because I think the industry's changed how that works. Physical albums don't seem to be such a thing anymore. So I'll let them deal with what needs to happen on social media and streaming and whatnot. But that we get to at least play it live and give some life into it.
This is a very cliche question, but do you ever get nervous before you go out on stage, especially when you say that sometimes it's kind of improvised, like you don't always know necessarily, or you're not playing the same thing every night? Do you ever get nervous before that?
Oh, 100%. My nerves come more from, just the logistic things of, because these are all big songs too. So vocally, this is the toughest thing I'll ever do. This is harder than doing Jean Valjean, harder than doing Phantom, because you just have a few big numbers throughout that show. With my career, every song's got these big arias, and I'm like, ooh. So we have to find a balance of how to make that last on a tour. And so my nerves, it's not lost on me that people have paid money to come see me and my friends play something. It's different. There's less pressure when, let's say I'm the Phantom, they're paying for production, where this is on us. So I want to make sure people feel they had a good time and it was worth the hard-earned money to pay for the tickets. So that makes me nervous. But last night we did our first show and they seemed happy, and that makes us happy, and it gives us energy to, okay, let's do another one. Let's keep going.
Well, it definitely helps to have that kind of positive experience to build upon. I always ask this to all of my guests. If someone was a bit unsure about coming, what would you say to them?
Well, it's always good to get out of your comfort zone, because that's when you grow and that's when you find new things. So I guarantee they'll have a good time if they come to the show. We have a great band. They will feel like they're just singing around the kitchen sink and they're with a bunch of friends. We have a lot of very long-standing supporters in the audience, and they've all become friends because of these shows. And for the most part, I think everyone experiences that. You can't please everyone, but I don't think you should set out to do that either.
No, but by what you've said today, it is certain to be a crowd pleaser. That is Ramin Karimloo's From Now On tour, which is coming to the Capitol Theatre in Horsham on the 30th of January. So very, very soon. Have you ever been to Horsham before?
Yeah, we played there 2 years ago. And it was a great night. The energy was fantastic. That stuck out as one of our favorite venues, so we're really excited to go back.
Thank you so much for coming on today, and all the best for the tour as well.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on.
The Jamie Dyer Show.